Hey, what's going on, everybody? LMC here. I'm trying to get back into making videos here, and there's a lot of things I'd like to show you guys because I haven't made a video in the last 3 months. First off, I think we're just going to do some arena battles, just so you can get a feel for my monsters, maybe get some tips for how I easily hold Conqueror 3 rank, even though I'm not even on for the last hour during rush hour. So let's do some battles. Look at this. Dark's LMC. I thought it said Dark LMC. So I don't know who Dark CS is, but I don't know if he's a fan or if it's just a coincidence. But we're gonna do battle against him here. So I kind of have just real quick what I do during the week is so what's really important are guild buildings. So from the glory shop, I have never, and I never suggest anybody purchase a mystical scroll, water scroll, fire scroll, wind scroll. Always purchase your Devilmon, and then after that you need to work on your buildings, because these buildings work everywhere, not just in arena. So they help you in your dungeons, they help you in guild battles, they help you everywhere. So they're just that important. So you can kind of see I've got some of the more important ones maxed out. And this is what's really helped me to be a better arena player, better Guild Wars player. And it's really elevates your game, makes life easier all around in this game if you can max some of this stuff. So as you can see, I already have the hit point max, the speed max, the sky totem, the crit damage maxed. I'm pretty close on the ancient sword, which is the attack. And I've been leveling up these as I go, just with whatever monsters I'm using, which I feel need a little bit extra attack. So you can kind of see I have the ancient sword level 9, and I have some of these between level 5 and level 7, level 4 for fire, because I don't really have a lot of fire monsters. So, there's trade-off. You go back and forth. You're not going to come into this and just max level your crystal altar right away. That's a bad choice, because you're gaining less for more glory points every time you max level it. So just because I have these max level, I was going I was going back and forth between these. This one's pretty cheap, but you have to kind of weigh the reward versus what you're spending for these different buildings. But under no circumstances is it worth buying these scrolls. I mean, yeah, you might get lucky, but those 300 points can be much better spent on something like, the energy. Having more energy is very important. Mysterious plant, refilling your energy faster is super important. So these are kind of the two that I recommend right off the bat. Go for these two right away. And I've talked about this before, so I don't want to talk about it too much, but that does help. So for you guys to see my guild buildings, well, my glory shop buildings, and then I have good runes on my monsters, that's what lets my monsters, hold Conqueror 3 easily. And if I push and actually stay awake for that hour, I know I always fall asleep at the end of rush hour there, I can hold G1 pretty easily. And I didn't even have Chloe, now I have Chloe, so that's going to make life a little easier. So let's see what LMC Dark CS has here. Okay, so this is my main team that I usually take for all arena battles. Baramos still, I wish I could find a monster to replace him. He's so good with debuffing other monsters. He's still just awesome. He's got pretty high speed. You want him to go as much as possible. Violent runes. All 4 of my monsters have violent runes. So usually what I do is I found this team to be my go-to team against most monster builds. Escher is really good, and you'll see why each of these monsters, complements the team as we play some battles here. But instead of Escher, sometimes if it's a speed leader, I'll substitute Leo. Now, Leo doesn't always work. Sometimes, Leo pretty much makes all the monsters the same speed as him. So my Leo has very low speed, and it kind of evens the playing board when you have a very high speed team. So if there's a Bernard over on this team, I would probably take Leo. If it was a speed leader and some pretty fast monsters, again, Leo. So I'm not going to take Leo in this situation because Vertihil is kind of a direct counter against Leo, because Vertihil fills the attack bar of the allies and it's not proportionate to speed. So all Vertihil has to do is go first, and then their whole team's going first anyways, so they already get the advantage. And then every time Vertihil attacks, he could be increasing their attack bars by 40% each, and they could get a very serious advantage against me. So I don't normally, he's not a perfect counter against Leo, but I'm not going to take Leo against Vertihil. I usually choose not to do that. Sometimes I will substitute, I have a couple other teams that I take in certain situations, but mainly I'll substitute if I'm looking at a high fire team. I'll take Taeor. Taeor is also my Phaimon farmer now. I mean, he farms it super fast, 100%, and he's got max skills. He does amazing damage, plus he puts monsters on lockdown with his third skill here, freezes enemies, and it does just massive damage. So sometimes I take Taeor. Let's see. Well, we'll kind of see. I have different Guild Wars teams as well, but usually it's just my go-to team, which is going to be Escher in this case. Vertihil works good as well in most situations. Where's Escher here? And I've been trying to take Chiwu too. So people were asking, we didn't even see you pull Chiwu. It was towards the end of when I stopped making videos I pulled this guy. And just about a week ago I finally decided to feed all the Devilmon to him. So he's really interesting. He's got the attack speed of all allied monsters for anything, arena, dungeons, Guild Wars. And I actually used him on my Guild Wars defense last week, and I wasn't too impressed with the results. I actually used him in this slot, so it was this team plus Chiwu for my arena defense towards the end of the week. And it did okay. I held Conquer 2 pretty easily. Alright, let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to get 2 more arena invitations. Usually what I do during the week is I throw up a troll defense, which is just 2 or 3 monsters just to kind of maintain at least Conquer 1 ranking, which is the top 10,000. So then you get 5 glory points for each win. I'll usually just try to maintain anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 ranking throughout the week just to get maximum glory points. Alright, so in this situation, you always want to go for the biggest threat to your team. Anybody just starting out in arena, that's the #1 thing. So the biggest threat to me is Vertihil here, because Vertihil could really make Theo attack a whole lot more. So Theo and Vertihil are the 2 main threats. So I'm going to try to cleanse Vertihil here. Get that immunity off of him. Okay, we got that. So my Belladon has about 80 accuracy, I bet. We can go over runes later if anybody's interested. So that was perfect. He was the only one who didn't have immunity, and I got the stun. So my Veramos has good accuracy as well. So he's almost dead already. We'll be able to kill him with Escher here. Massacre. His third skill scales off hit points, so my Escher has lots of hit points. You can see Theo decided to attack Escher, which you never know who Theo's going to attack. He's definitely a wild card. He's really good on defense for that reason. So now that I got Vertihil out of the way, I'm definitely going to go for Theo next. I'm going to heal up just for safety. Plus Mobilize is really nice because it increases your attack bar for all your allies by 30%, I believe. So of course Chasen's going to do that. So I'm going to use Massacre again. Usually what's great about Escher going against Theo is this Massacre has a 50% chance with each attack. So 4 attacks, 50% chance each time to remove one of the buffs. So what's great about using him to try to finish off a Theo is when that Theo gets to 0 hit points, he's going to throw up that immunity for 1 turn, invincibility for 1 turn, and the Massacre can actually cleanse that and kill Theo immediately. So Escher is really good against Theos. Now in this situation, I'm going to use it against Theo, even though I know I'm not going to kill Theo, just because I don't want Theo to have this attack increase. I think it's a crit rate increase buff. But either way, I don't want Theo to have that, so I'm going to use Massacre right now. There, we got that out of the way. And he gets it back. No big deal. We're going to triple crush, try to get a defense break on Theo. We did. Now I'm going to defense break Chase soon. I don't need to step you guys through everything I do here. This is a pretty easy battle now that I got Theo out of the way, so we'll just win this one. Okay, so he's got invincibility for 1 turn now. I don't have Massacre, else I could use it on Theo. So I'm going to use Predator's Cry. I'm going to increase my speed for my whole team. I can probably put this on auto mode right now. I think we'll probably do that here. See how good Chasun is? Especially with Theo, because Theo had 0 hit points. Chasun just healed him pretty much to full. I'm going to defense break Chasun, just get her hit points down a little bit. Alright, now Theo's going to die as soon as he comes out of that invincibility and uses a turn. He's dead. Huh. The continuous damage didn't work. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I don't know what the deal is with that. Pretty easy win here though. So my goal in Arena during the whole week is to maximize my glory points. So that's why I throw up the troll defense to try to stay just barely in the Conqueror ranking. So I get 5 for each win, 5 glory points. And then for a lot of people they say, well, why didn't you revenge me back? Why didn't you revenge me? Well, I don't really do revenge battles during the normal week because what I'm trying to do, just like you see, I just got 2 extra arena invitations, is just clear my list over and over and over. Because if you clear the list, you're going to get 10 times 5, that's 50 glory points. And every time you clear it, you're going to get 2 extra arena invitations. So you can get as many as 60 glory points every 10 wings. So that's what I try to do. Just get as many glory points as possible. Okay, so this is an easy team for my default team. We'll just do this win. So a lot of people really like Arnold, and as you move up in the rankings, Arnold is extremely easy to counter. He's really not a threat anymore. So hopefully we can win this battle fairly quickly. So the biggest the scariest monster right here on their team is Theomars, just because he's going to prolong the battle. Okay, he's dead, so I can pretty much just auto this thing. I mean, they don't have Chasun. Arnold's not going to be able to one-shot anybody, even with defense break on or anything. But usually, I will go for Theo on the other team, just because, you know, if Theo just keeps cleansing the defense breaks you put on the other monsters, there are certain cases I won't go for Theo right away. But normally, getting Theo out of the way will make the battle go a lot quicker. So like I said, that's a pretty easy battle right here. Easy 5 points. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so we can switch things up here. Now this is perfect because he has 2 water monsters, which is perfect for me to take Leo against. Wind is strong against water. And there's no fire monster that's really strong that's going to be able to burst down my Theo. So this should be a really easy win for me. I'm sorry, my Leo, not my Theo. So sorry if this video is getting a little boring. Trying to teach you guys right off the bat. So if you are using Leo or going against a Leo, one thing that's important to note is his attacks, both of them, well, with the passive, any of his attacks have a chance to decrease the enemy's attack bar. So now you can see I attacked Tyron first because I'm not too worried about this battle. He is kind of a pretty big threat with his freeze. So if I kill him right away, he's going to be the last to attack out of all 8 monsters because Leo attacked him first. So because he's last to attack, I'm going to be able to kill him before he even gets one attack off. Tyron has an attack that can stun and freeze if he's Despair all 4 of my monsters. So that's why I felt like he was the biggest threat. So now that he's out of the way, it's pretty much easy mode. I mean, they got these 2 monsters, which are good attack monsters, but they're not going to be able to take me out before I take them out. So Leo's actually pretty strong, especially if his health gets low. He can one-shot. He can do as much as 35, 40k damage without defense break on certain monsters when his attack's really low, because if it's less than 20% or 30% of his health, he ignores defense, and it's already a very strong attack. It gets stronger as your hit points drop. So that was an easy battle there. What else do we got? Alright, so this one's a little interesting. You know, no big deal. I could take a lot of different teams against this, but I don't know, you want to kind of pick your main team and stick with it. Put your best runes on 4 of your monsters. So this team's should be able to easily take out this team. You know, Trevor's gonna be the biggest threat on this team. If I can take him out pretty quick, it's gonna be an easy win. And then I'm gonna go for the Archangel or a Casus. It'd be nice to get a Casus out of the way. You know, a Casus is one of those monsters that really is. If you see an Acasis on a defense team and you're a pretty high ranked player, the other players are going to go for that team, kind of single them out. So Acasis is kind of a liability, I would say, later on in arena battles. She can be really good, you know, early on in the game, but oh, come on, so close. See how much damage Trevor did? That's okay, I'm gonna heal up here. Should be able to take Trevor out this time. There. So now their biggest threat is out of the way. Not forever, because the Archangel is probably, let's see here. I'm gonna increase my speed because the Archangel's gonna bring him back right now. Now I gotta take him out again, but he has 0 attack bar, so shouldn't be too difficult to take him out before he even gets to attack again. See, his hit points are really low. He's gonna die next turn. Ooh. Okay, he will. Alright, now it's time to try to take out the Archangel. Before, the Archangel's probably gonna get a chance to heal up. Depends if I can take him out quick enough. Yeah, he's done. So there, now the team, they're pretty much out of commission. Once you take out their biggest threat, it's pretty easy to win. Or at least that's what I found. Alright, another easy win. Rank 2000, but it's the middle of the week, so the 2000 ranking doesn't mean anything. I usually like to keep it a little higher than that. Okay, so this is another team that I can win with my default team. You know, the only threat here, there's no threat. So this is one of those teams where I could just do complete auto mode and probably still win this. You know, especially if I take out Vertihil, they have nothing. Brienne's kind of a liability for these endgame teams, because Brienne is sharing hit points, can only revive once every 6-7 turns, no real strength. Again, Brienne can be good for mid-game, but endgame, not very viable. Okay, so I didn't get any stuns or defense break on Vertihil, so that's a little scary, but Just going to try to take him out as quick as possible. Not too difficult. Now I'm just going to try to do some extra damage here because Brienne's going to bring him back. But the more damage I can do, the less hit points him and the rest of the team are going to have when Brienne revives him. Now I could try to stun Brienne, but I don't really have too much CC on this team. So he didn't even bring back Vertihill because I took out Veramos first. Alright. See the Oracle? The only thing is, oh, see, that was a bad move for me to do an auto. I should have let the Oracle sleep. Now that I did an AoE attack with Veramos, the Oracle came back to life, which kind of stinks, but again, this team is already out of commission. There's not too much they can do. See how strong Theo is? Extra turn, violent proc. Alright. So this is kind of what I do throughout the week. I got 5 arena invites left. Now I got 22 Mystic Scrolls I'm going to use right after this. I'm going to turn this into 2 videos though. Pretty excited. Hopefully I get something good. You know, I got Chloe yesterday, which was super exciting. Alright, so I'm going to try to take out Theo as quick as possible here. If I can get Theo out of the way, they don't have a res monster. If I can get Theo out of the way, it's going to be game over. So I'm using Massacre just to get Theo down. You know, I just want to proc his... There we go. I just want to proc his invincibility as soon as possible. So now that he's out of invincibility, I should be able to burst him down before he even gets one attack. Well, I hope. Let's see here. Oh, I'm lucky I got the violent proc. So, that's pretty much game over for that team. So that's why I really like my team, which my team works okay on arena defense, just the same exact go-to team here. But you almost need 2 monsters that, you know, are really scary monsters. So Theo and Escher, they both have attacks that can almost one-shot other teams. So together they work fantastic, and neither of them are super squishy. So that's kind of what you're looking for in endgame monsters. You know, another monster that people really like nowadays and is pretty scary. I've run into problems with this monster, especially in Guild Wars, is Orion. And arena battles, Orion is really good. That's the Water Brownie Magician. And I haven't built one yet. I'm gonna build one. But Orion's kind of a scary monster. Doesn't have the damage, but can really wreak havoc on your team with the debuffs and removing your buffs. Kind of works against any team, which makes Orion a great defense monster. Okay, what do we got here? So this is a little bit of a scarier team for me, for my default team. No big deal really though. I'm going to take out Tessarian first. Tessarian could wreak havoc against my 2 Ifrits. And this is one monster I really like too, for anybody who's lucky enough to pull the Wind Monkey King. Because he attacks and he can do some pretty good damage, plus he stuns a ton. He attacks every time you attack another monster. So just by having him on a team, you're getting extra damage, you're getting stuns, and you're making it so the other team either has to choose, do I take this guy out first so that I don't have to attack other monsters and get him hitting me and stunning all my monsters, or, you know, he kind of gives you like an extra buffer against other people choosing what they need to do against you. So I like, if I had him, I would probably use him instead of Escher. I'd definitely try him out. He's a pretty good monster. So I probably shouldn't have too much problems. Now that I've been doing these battles for a while, I have all the extra buffs from arena battles. which is another good thing about working through the arena list, getting the arena invites. So now I have like this extra buff. So if you come down here and you look at your ally buffs, I have this from just winning consecutively, 10% extra hit points and 10% attack. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it really adds up and gives you that little bit of an advantage if you're, you know, fighting in the Guardian rank or something that you need against some of these teams. And then all the guild buildings, I have Veramos extra hit points. So if you add up everything that's here, 10% hit points, 33% hit points, 20% hit points from the altar. If you start adding all these buffs up, this is really extremely helpful, you know. It kind of makes everything doable to... Oh, come on. Hopefully it just reconnects here. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Huh. There, that should be good. But it's not good, it's froze up. Oh man. So okay, I'm back here. So yeah, they got a couple stuns off right away. I'm gonna go after Tessarian. I think he's the biggest threat against my team. Look at that, see? That's why I like that Wind Monkey King. You know, I attack Tessarian, Wind Monkey counters, stuns another one of my characters. Now this is bad. This is exactly why Tessarian's pretty good, especially against my team. Now my Veramos is not going to remove buffs for 2 turns. So I gotta take out Tessarian. So one thing about Theomars that most people, man, chasing, healing him to max. If I just would have had 2% more attack power on Theo, that wouldn't have happened. So it's those little amounts of runes. You say, oh, it's only 2% attack. It doesn't matter that much. But in this case, it mattered a lot. You know, if you get that close to attacking somebody and killing somebody, you know, once every 10 battles, and you get 2% extra attack, and then you end up actually killing those people when you normally wouldn't have, you know, that's what's gonna set you apart and bring you up 150, 200 more rankings. Okay, I got finally got him. My Veramos was strong enough to survive that onslaught. So, going after the Monkey King next, he's the second biggest threat. If we can get him out of the way before they take out Theo, we should be in good shape. Oh, it's looking real good, especially with those violent procs. Oh, Theo, thank you. So this was a little tricky battle. I still should have an easy win here. I could save Massacre. One good thing about Massacre is you kind of want to use it to finish off a monster, because if you actually kill a monster with Massacre, it's instantly reusable. So then you can, you know, Massacre Chasun right away afterwards. You don't have to wait for, I think it's on a 3-turn cooldown, maybe a 4-turn cooldown. So what's really good, Escher is a really good all-around player just because he's got that 15% heal plus speed increase. He's got Massacre, which can remove buffs, does really good damage, and is instantly reusable if the enemy dies. His first turn can actually prevent heals with a slight chance. So just overall, he complements this team really well. He gives me the extra heals I need because Belladon doesn't, you know, have enough heals to sustain against a lot of different teams. So this is a really well balanced team that I use. It works really well. Even in the Guardian rankings, usually I can clear the whole board. Especially once I start getting the buffs. a buff 10. Hit point 20%, attack 20%. It's pretty huge. Okay, so this guy's got a troll defense up, sort of. He's doing a similar thing as what I do. You know, he's only using 3 monsters, but these 3 monsters are probably pretty good, pretty synergetic, and he probably gets enough defense wins just to stay in the Conquer 1. Well, he's probably Conquer 2 right now, because I'm facing him, but, you know, it keeps him up high enough. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. I'm going to take Leo, but I don't like to take Leo against strong fire monsters like Perna, because Perna has a chance to really blow up Leo, and as soon as Leo dies, his passive is no longer active, and then all the enemies are back to whatever attack speed they normally would have had. So if there was a couple fire monsters, Leo it can go against you. It's not a for sure win. But I'm going to take him because I'm pretty sure that Perna is pretty fast, and Bernard. Leo's a perfect counter against Bernard. He's a perfect counter against Bernard and Tyron. So, who do I not want to go first? I'm gonna attack Perna because of the Bernard usually body slams Theo. I don't know why that always happens, but Bernard on defense usually goes after Theo. That's why will runes are so good on Theo. I highly suggest will runes for Theo. Especially, it just seems like every Bernard, you know, he's always going to go for a water monster. On my team, the only water monster is usually Theomars. And Theomars has will runes, so the body slam, both of those debuffs that Bernard would normally put on, no longer get applied. So it's perfect. So this is going okay. See, that's... Ooh, Theo took out Bella. This is a little not good now. Oh, now he's going after Leo. Alright, we should be able to take out Perna, though. That's the biggest threat. Now we're going to go after Theo. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, and the other Theo violent procs. Man, this is not good. Alright, I got a stun at least. That's really important here. Oh, man. I have got to take out Theo. Okay, that's really good. They have no heals. Alright. Theo's done. That was a close battle. 3 almost took out 4. Huh. So that's a pretty good team. Bella, Theo, and Perna. You know, whenever I see Theo and Perna on the same team, I think that's very powerful. Of course, Perna is very difficult to get, and not that many people are fortunate enough to have Perna. But those 2 monsters are really synergetic, especially with a Chloe and Chaesoon pair. Yeah. So this is a standard team. You see this all the time. Chloe, Chaesoon, Theo, and Veramos. It's a very good team. I found a way to counter it 95% of the time, and that's with my standard team. You know, my standard team, what's nice about having Escher and Belladon is you have 2 types of debuffs. You have Belladon's debuff, which is Seize, and you have Escher's Massacre, which can remove beneficial effects as well. So that can really help when you're going against a Chloe. So their Chloe gave me an advantage because she didn't use her shield right away. So if I can take out Theo, which is not easy to do when you have Chloe and Chaesoon on the same team, it's going to be easy mode if I can do that. So right now, normally I would just do a Seize or something like that. Actually, I should save Seize against Theo, you know, just do a little bit more damage, because I don't need to use Mobilize because I don't have anything to heal. But Mobilize also does the 30% attack bar fill, So using that right now, I'm going to get Escher and Theomar's attack bars at full, and I should be able to attack before Veramos on their team cleanses the debuff, the defense break that I already have put on. So this should help me. It should be able to get that Theomar's down one turn quicker. Now, that's really good right there. I'm going to massacre. Perfect. So not only did you see what happened there? Not only did I kill Theomar's, but at the very end, I managed to remove his invincibility. So he didn't get to attack a single time. You know, that worked out perfect. Can't hope for that every time. That was pretty lucky. Now with this team 3 versus 4, I can auto this. Just walk away. There's not enough damage with these 3 monsters to kill any of my monsters. I already know that. You know, you have to kind of test your teams out against these things. When you face Veramos, Chloe, and Chaesoon over and over and over again, you just kind of start to know how much damage output those 3 monsters can do. And I know for a fact that they can't do enough damage output to kill any of my monsters. So this is a little slower probably because my monsters aren't doing the ideal things to take out their team as fast as possible. But in the long run, between Escher and Theomar's, and Veramos does decent damage too, they will kill them all. So that's about it for this team. So I'd really like to show you guys some of my new Guild Wars tactics. Hopefully we'll get a video out on that. I've been holding higher contribution than anybody else in my guild. I don't want to gloat or anything, but I always go for the highest hit point opponents, even if, you know, they're not the easiest or best for me to attack. So I just try to be the best guild player that I can be, and I've been having almost 100% success. You know, last week Childish was the only one who beat me, which, good for him. He got 1 draw against me, but I have some pretty good Guild Wars tactics. I'd like to show those to you guys. Now this is a team I'm not super comfortable with. I'm going to attack him, but let's see here. This is scary right here. Theomar's, Perna, and Chloe. Plus, Triton here. Let's just take a quick look at him. Attacks all enemies, decreasing their attack bar, and removing beneficial effects on them. So, my team doesn't usually do too many beneficial effects. The only one is Escher here with his attack speed. So not a big deal. Triton is not too dangerous against my team. Preventing them to use skills with cooldown times for 1 turn. So that is a little bit scary. And also decreasing my attack bar, that's not good. But he's not the biggest threat. I'm not that concerned about him. Now another thing for me to think about when attacking this team is I could kill him fairly quickly and get him off the board. But if I do that, I sacrifice at least trying to take out Perna or Theo, which both of these are basically, they're going to take 2 full turns to kill either one of them. I usually go for Perna first, just because Perna just seems to wreak more damage on my team. Perna seems a little scarier than Theo in most cases. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take my standard team against this. Yep. We're going to do that. This is a good team. But I have the extra 10% hit point and attack bar buffs, so I should be able to take out Perna. If I can take out Perna or Theomar's, one of their main attackers, early, that's not good. Then it should be a good game. Okay, I'm lucky. I got a stun on Perna, but of course, Perna violent procs out of it. Or, not violent procs, but uses the skill. That was really good. So I got Perna down to the 2nd life of Perna. Alright, I'm going to heal up. It's always better to be safe than sorry here. I'm actually going to heal again and get that speed buff. Okay, they're keeping my Bella stunned. But if I can get Perna down, it's gonna help. Okay, so that's perfect. So now I can do Massacre. That should kill Perna. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna go for Theo next. Massacre again. Hopefully this will work. Yep, perfect. Alright, so that worked out really well for me. It could have went the other way. So you guys have already seen a couple times why Escher is a really great counter against Theomars. Just being able to use that Massacre to remove the shield. You know, Escher does 4 hits, so if you kill Theo on the first or second hit, then you have extra attacks chances to remove the shield and then do enough damage to even kill him all in one turn. Alright, so looks like I'm going to clear the board again. I don't want to... I hope I don't lose this one. This one shouldn't be too bad. This is a standard team. Go for Theo first. That's usually what I do here. This is a standard good team, but I usually have enough damage output to take it out. So that was kind of interesting. They have will runes on Chloe, but that's kind of a waste because Chloe's so fast that the will runes don't even get a chance to take effect. Plus Chloe has... yeah, I don't like will runes on Chloe. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna mobilize. Why not? Yep, that was a good choice. Because that gives me the extra ability to utilize the defense break that I already have on Theomars. So, very important. Now we're going to go for Baramos here. Got defense break on him. Now this is nice because I can just do a little bit of damage, take out Theomars. Alright, so this is a good game. Easy mode. So if you guys are still watching, you watched all the way from the beginning, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you learned a little something, got to see my offensive team, and maybe you have some ideas on how you can build yours to be, you know, just a team that you can, is just a go-to team that you can kill just about anything with. I mean, the Huadams used to scare me really bad. Pernas used to scare me really bad. And nowadays with this team and these runes, there's not any real monster combinations that scare me. Once in a while I'll still lose a battle. There's still some teams that beat me more often than not. Now building a defense team is a different story. So I don't use this team for defense, just it doesn't seem to do as well. I'm still trying to figure out the perfect defense team. But for an offense team, you know, just put your best runes on 4 monsters. Try to cover all your bases. So 2 heals, 2 debuff removals, 2 attack monsters that can do massive damage, 1 cleanser. That's my team. So you need enough pieces of the puzzle to be able to take out anything you're faced against, or at least that's been my goal, and it's worked really well for me. As you can see, we climbed quite a few ranks there. It's the middle of the week, so this doesn't really mean anything at all, but we gained 55 glory points in that time. So what more can you ask for? No losses, pretty easy. So I'll talk to you guys soon. This has been a really long video. Not usually my style for doing something like this, but I'm going to do some Mystic Scrolls, so wish me luck, and I'll be posting at least one of the videos here tonight. Talk to you guys soon. LMC signing out for now.